Oh, I love these. These are Reebok. Good morning, everybody. Wearing my Reebok pants, Mystic Fitness shirt. At least Instagram is live. Hello from Mystic Fitness. Good morning, Facebook. We're coming to you live from Mystic Fitness. My name is Kellie Spencer. I have Kellie Mays with me as well. It's Monday morning, so you get double Kellie. We're starting your week off with a 60-minute power flow to get you moving, get a little sweat on. It's super humid outside, so it's like perfect hot yoga conditions. You can feel like you're really in the studio. I don't think it's raining anymore, so maybe take a chance, take your mat outside for a little bit. It is a power class, so please make sure that you have plenty of water with you. Make sure you bring any props that you need along to your mat. I would encourage you to use a couple blocks if you have those. If you don't have any blocks, you can use a couple books or like a towel or something like that to just give yourself something to support your body. If you like to use a strap, whatever you like to practice with, just bring it on down to your mat. Take your time to just kind of settle in. We'll get started in just a couple minutes. I'm an elementary school teacher, so I'm officially on summer vacation. So I am very much loving having some extra time to do extra yoga practices, do some reading, watch new TV shows. So as you guys are logging in, as you're tuning in, drop a comment. Let me know what you are reading, what you're watching. I would love to take some of your recommendations. We love hearing from you guys. Keep sending us where you're practicing these days, especially if you're traveling at all, heading to somewhere new, heading to the beach or something. If you're taking your practice somewhere else, definitely let us know. All right, it's 9:03. I think we'll go ahead and get started. We still have our beautiful masks made by Mary Beth available. So if you have the means to do so, we are still very appreciative of any donations through our Mystic Fitness Venmo. A donation of any size will get you one of these beautiful masks. We'll deliver it right to your mailbox, contact-free delivery. So we so appreciate your support, and even just a share or a like on any of our platforms or on Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube. So we so appreciate you guys sharing what we have going on with your community. You can go ahead and find a comfortable position on your mat. You could be reclined, you might be seated. Take a couple moments, just play around, figure out what feels right for you. Let your eyes close, let the weight of your body just kind of press into the floor. Take a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Letting yourself just fully arrive in your body, letting yourself fully arrive into your practice space on your mat. Letting the beginnings of your morning just kind of melt away, releasing whatever came before and just giving yourself time to arrive fully in the present, fully in your body. Taking another deep breath in. Exhale. Maybe taking a couple moments to just notice what your body is feeling like today. It's a Monday, we're coming off the weekend. So aiming to notice without judgment, just take awareness of what your muscles feel like, take awareness of your energy levels. Just using that awareness as you move into your practice with integrity and intention, but also compassion for yourself, meeting yourself right where you are this morning. Taking another inhale and a slow exhale. If you're reclined, you can slowly take your time to move up into a seated position, moving slowly. There's no rush to get there. Maybe keeping your eyes closed through that transition, letting your eyes stay closed as you arrive, or just taking a soft gaze down towards your mat. We'll open our practice with the sacred sound of Om. So bringing the palms together at the heart space or planting them over your heart. We'll begin with a cleansing breath in and out. Inhale, exhale, and now we breathe in for Om. Let's have a beautiful practice, everybody. So staying in that seated position on your mat, let's just take some gentle head rolls to begin. Often when we're waking up in the morning, we might have a little crick or crack in our neck, so just give yourself a moment to get some movement through there, making sure that whichever direction you begin in, you pause and begin to circle the other way as well. And maybe you do a couple yes, no's, shaking your head from left to right and up and down, just getting movement in all directions through your neck. And now taking that into the shoulders, just getting some organic movements through there, whatever that looks like for you. Circles, maybe working the elbows in. And again, always making sure that you take it in both directions and moving at your own pace. So there's no rush to get from one direction to another. Stay here as long as you like until you feel like you've got that synovial fluid working through the shoulders. And when you're ready, you'll take that movement up into the wrists. Again, just finding some natural, organic movements through here, maybe circling your wrists clockwise and counterclockwise, maybe making fists, squeezing your fingers super tight and then stretching your fingers nice and wide. Maybe flipping the palms to the sky and to the earth in turn. Again, just getting movement in all directions, shaking it out. That lymphatic shake is beautiful for the body. Taking a breath in and a breath out. Let's get a side stretch in here. So inhaling both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, right hand drops, lifting that left arm up and over towards the right side. And then moving with your breath into inhale to center and exhale up and over towards the left side. And then taking that a few times at your own pace, making sure to match your movement to your breath, whatever that looks like for you. Let's take that one more time to each side, to the left and to the right. And then inhaling, coming back to center, letting the arms just kind of relax down, giving yourself a little shake. And then we'll transition into a tabletop position. Moving on to the hands and the knees. Taking a couple cat and cow motions here. So inhaling to open the heart. Exhale, curling the spine. And feel free to work the elbows into the mix as well here. Letting this movement take whatever form feels right for your body today. Maybe one more cow and one more cat. And then coming to a neutral spine. Walking the right toes backwards on your mat and then extending that leg up into the sky, just keeping it parallel to your spine. Toes are pointing down towards the earth. Now bending that knee so that the sole of the foot is pointing towards the sky. Let's take 5 donkey kicks here. So you press the heel of the right foot up to the sky and then slowly lower that knee. And we take 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now keeping that knee bent, pull that right knee out to the side and just get some hip circles in here. Remembering to breathe in and breathe out. And taking those circles the other direction as well. Aiming to keep your core nice and stable here. So you're really isolating that movement through the hip. And now dropping or straightening that right leg out to the right and then dropping that right foot down to the earth and taking just some backwards and forwards presses here in your kind of table with that right leg extended out to the side. And you can linger as long as you'd like in either direction, pressing backwards for a couple breaths and bringing yourself forward. Inhale and exhale. And then bringing your hips back to a kind of neutral position and then lifting your torso up. We'll take another side stretch here. So inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, right hand drops to the right leg and you stretch up and over, feeling that gorgeous opening through the left side of your abdominals. Take an inhale back to center. And as you exhale, left hand drops towards the left side and you extend that right foot up. Kind of a balancing half moon on the ground. Let's inhale to center. Exhale, stretch to the right. And then inhale to center. And exhale, left palm drops, right leg lifts. Taking it back to center on a breath in, lowering the palms towards the earth, bringing that right knee back in, coming into your tabletop, maybe just wagging your tail a little bit or taking some hip circles, maybe finding a child pose, whatever's calling to you here. Give your body what it's asking for. If you're circling those hips, give yourself time to take it in both directions. Breathe in and breathe out. When you're ready, you'll return to that neutral tabletop position. Left toes sneak backwards on your mat, and then that left leg extends up, lifting off of the floor, keeping that leg parallel to your torso. Left toes are pointing down to the earth, and now bend the left knee, keeping the sole of the foot pointing up to the sky. 5 donkey kicks here. 5, pressing that heel up. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bent knee pulls out to the left, circling the hip. Breathing in and breathing out. And now making sure to take those circles in the other direction as well. Opening up that hip. And then when you're ready, left leg extends, left foot drops. Take those presses back and forth, moving at your own pace, maybe moving with your breath or just kind of lingering in that front stretch and then the back stretch, feeling that opening through the hamstring. Feel free to let that left foot play around a little bit, pressing toes towards the earth and then back. And when you're ready, you'll stack the hips in that neutral position, lift your torso and your hands up to an upright position. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, left hand drops to left leg, right arm stretches up and over, feeling that opening through the right side of your torso now. On an inhale, you lift back up to center and right hand drops, left leg lifts for that sort of modified version of your balancing half moon. On an in-breath, returning to center. On your out-breath, stretching to the left. And then we take it one more time to center and over to the right. On your next inhale, returning to center, arms come down, transitioning into your tabletop position. Again, just taking a little wiggle and waggle to your tail or a couple hip circles, maybe dropping into a child pose for a couple breaths in and out. One more breath in and a breath out. Beautiful. Tucking the toes under, lift the hips up and back for your downward facing dog. Walking your dog out by bending one knee at a time. Alternate pressing the left and then the right heel into your mat, working a little more stretch into your hamstrings. And your feet and your hands can be as close together or as wide apart as you would like in your downward facing dog. So feel free to play around a little bit and walk your feet closer together, see how that feels. Walk the feet a little farther apart, see how that feels. Take a breath in and out. Feet slowly walk forward to meet the hands. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Inhale for a halfway lift, bringing the palms to the shins or the thighs and extending through the spine as you press the crown of your head forward. Stay here for another breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward, pressing down through the soles of your feet. And on your next breath in, slowly pull the body to standing, reaching the arms to the sky. Palms come together and just bring them to rest at heart center. Take a moment of grounding here, rooting the feet down into the earth and allowing that engagement to travel up your legs, creating your own dynamic tension through the body. Breath in, breath out. Next inhale reaches both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, fold forward, bend in the legs, neutral spine. Inhale for a halfway lift, palms come to shins, and exhale, fold. Fingertips to your mat, right foot takes a giant step back, runner's lunge. Left foot steps back to meet at high plank. Taking a moment to really establish a strong foundation here. Palms are pressing into the earth. Shoulders are aligned over the wrists to ensure that joints are stacked over each other. You're on the balls of your feet, squeezing your glutes. Press those palms into the earth and feel the space expanding between your shoulder blades. Inhale, exhale. Drop both knees to your mat. Bend at the elbows and lower your torso all the way down. Palms are alongside the chest. Keep those glutes engaged on an in-breath. Open the heart for a low cobra. Exhale. Hips lift up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. On an inhale, bend the knees, draw your chest towards your thighs. On your exhale, press forward into a high plank. Inhale, pulls the hips up and back as you bend the knees, and exhale, pressing forward, finding that plank position. Let's take this a couple more times. Moving at your own pace, breathing in and out. 2 more, in and out. Last one, pulling the hips up and back, bending those knees, and then pressing yourself forward into that high plank. A breath in and a breath out. Pulling the hips into that downward facing dog, and then feet walk forward to meet the hands. Inhale for your halfway lift. On an exhale, fold forward, rooting the feet down into your mat. Slowly rise to standing on your breath in. Arms reach to the sky, and then pull the palms to heart center on your exhale. Find that moment of grounding. Root the feet into the earth. Create that tension through the lower body. Engage your pelvic floor and your abs on your next breath in. Arms extend to the sky. As you exhale, fold forward, keeping that neutral spine and a bend through the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, fingertips to your mat. Right foot takes a giant step back, runner's lunge. Left foot steps back to meet at high plank. Holding that plank for a breath in and a breath out. Rolling forward on the toes, bending at the elbows just a couple inches so that your shoulders stay above the elbows. Inhale, opening your heart for your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we walk it out for a breath in and a breath out. Next, inhale, bend the knees, drawing chest to thighs. Exhale, press into your high plank. Inhale, draws the hips back. Exhale, press into your plank. Let's take this 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale. In. And out. And now hold this plank. We'll transition into a side plank on the right. So if your shoulders are aligned over the wrists, you simply have to plant that right hand and roll onto the outside edge of your right foot. And then you can open your hips and your chest to the left long edge of your mat. Left fingertips extend to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. Exhale, slowly transition back to your high plank, holding this for a breath in and out. Now making sure our left shoulder is aligned over left wrist. Plant that hand, roll onto the outer edge of the left foot. Hips and chest open to the right long edge of your mat. Right fingertips extend to the sky. Breathe in and out. Inhale. Exhale. Slowly release, returning to your high plank. Hold this. Breath in and out. You guys are so strong. Roll forward on the toes, bending at the elbows, lower just a couple inches. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk it out. Breath in and breath out. Feet walk forward to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Root the feet down into the earth, and on an inhale, slowly pick the body up to standing. Extend the arms to the sky. Palms come together. Find that moment of grounding. Place the feet hips width distance apart. We'll be coming into some chair poses next. So just in a little preparation. Good call, Kelly. Maybe grab a sip of water. Ooh. I hope you guys are feeling the heat inside your bodies now. I hope you guys are nice and warmed up. So take a moment, plant the feet, feel that dynamic tension spreading through your lower body. On an inhale, extend both arms to the sky. This time as you exhale, palms come together, you find your chair pose, sinking the hips down. And then on an inhale, we lift and extend, and exhale, chair. Let's take this 5 more times. 5, 4, really pressing through the feet and activating your glutes as you lift and as you lower so that you're creating that dynamic tension the whole time, through the whole movement. I lost count. Let's do 2 more. Ready? Breathe in and breathe out. 1 more in and out. All right, let's hold this chair. Find some intentionality in this pose from the feet all the way up to the crown of your head. So the weight is in your heels. You're hugging your thighs towards each other. Your hips are nice and low, and you've got this very slight tuck to your tailbone, so you've got a nice long spine. Breath in, breath out. Left foot steps back, landing on the ball of the foot for your crescent lunge. You can have a slight bend in the left knee as well as the right if that feels good for you. Palms can come to heart center. You can open your arms to a goal pose position or extend the arms up to the sky as long as you're keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Breath in, breath out. Now left foot steps back and you land in your crescent lunge, and then right foot steps back. Crescent lunge on the left side, finding your stability through the lower body. Now bring the palms to heart center. Right foot steps forward, left foot steps back. Left foot steps forward, right foot steps back. Let's take 5 of these at a nice pace. And as you step forward, you're aiming to land back into your chair pose. So you're keeping your muscles under tension this whole time. Let's take 2 more each side. So left, right, left, and right. Chair pose, forward fold. Taking a ragdoll here, wrapping each hand over the opposite elbow. Just sway from left to right for an inhale and exhale. Releasing the hands, inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, fingertips to your mat. Right foot takes a giant step back, runner's lunge. Left foot steps back to meet it, high plank. Rolling forward on the toes, bending at the elbows, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Staying here for a breath in and a breath out. 1 more inhale and an exhale. Feet walk forward to meet the hands. Inhale for your halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Root the feet on a breath in. Slowly rise to standing. Reaching the arms to the sky. Exhale, palms to heart center. Find that moment of grounding. Breath in, reaches the arms up. Exhale, chair, sinking the hips down. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears. Inhale. Exhale. Shifting weight into right foot, left foot steps back, crescent lunge, bringing your arms into that goal post position. Let's take some deeper lunges here. So inhale and extend arms and legs. Exhale, pulling the arms down as you bend both knees. As you lift, you'll press through that right heel and really press through that right glute so that you're using your glutes to lift you up. Let's take 3 more. Ready? 3, 2, and the last one. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift and extend. As you exhale, open up to your warrior 2. Settling yourself into this pose. And again, taking that moment to establish some intentionality in this posture. Starting with the soles of your feet, you press them down into your mat like you're ripping it apart into 2 pieces. That tension rises through the legs. You're engaging the inside of that right thigh by pressing that right knee a little bit out towards the pinky. Breath in, breath out. Now your legs are going to stay exactly where they are, but as you breathe in, your torso will tilt back for a reversed warrior, and then on an exhale, your torso will tilt forward for an extended side angle or bent knee triangle. Now keeping your legs exactly where they are, flow a little bit between these 2 postures, and notice how your upper body is able to continue its fluid movement with the stability of your lower body as its foundation. Couple more here. Inhale and exhale. One more reverse warrior. And then as you exhale, just cartwheel both hands down to frame that foot. Right foot steps back to meet the left. Rolling forward on the toes, bending at the elbows. Inhale for your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Taking a couple breaths here in your down dog, maybe dropping your hips to your heels for your child's pose, maybe grabbing some water. It's hot. I don't know if you guys are as sweaty as we are, but we are again dripping on this Monday morning, which is wonderful. Totally makes it feel like an authentic hot yoga class. It's delightful. Oh, when you're ready, we'll all meet in a downward facing dog so we can take that flow on the other side. So when you're ready, your feet walk forward to meet your hands. Inhale for a halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting the feet down. On a breath in, you rise to standing. Palms come together and come to heart center as you find that moment of just grounding down into the earth, rooting the feet, pulling the navel in and up. Inhale, stretch the arms to the sky, and as you exhale, you find your chair pose. Holding it here, breath in, breath out. Shifting weight into the left foot, right foot steps back for that crescent lunge, bringing arms into that goal post position. So taking a moment to root your feet down so that you have that stability, and then we lift and extend through the arms and legs, and we exhale and we bend. Now pressing through that left heel, pressing through that left glute, you lift. Taking that a few times here, creating that tension through your arms as well. You can get just as much of a workout in your upper body here. Let's take 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and last one. Hold that lunge for 5, 4. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. 3, 2, 1, and we lift and extend, and we exhale, opening to that warrior 2 on the left side. Making sure that that left knee is stacked over the left ankle. Left knee kind of pulls gently towards the pinky toe on that foot. Make sure you're getting opening through your hips. Rooting the feet down firmly into your mat, like they're glued together. Breath in and out. When you're ready, you can inhale and reverse, keeping your legs nice and stable. And then exhale, finding your variation of extended side angle. And then we flow here, however feels right for you. Finding a breath pattern that works, so you can inhale or exhale in either direction. You can linger for a couple breaths. Whatever feels right for you here. Let's take a couple more. One more extended side angle. And one more reverse. And then cartwheel the hands down to frame that front foot. Left foot steps back, high plank, holding your plank. Let's take some mountain climbers here. So right knee pulls towards the belly button, and then you swap it out for the left knee. So it's right, left, for 20. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rolling forward on the toes, bending at the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walking it out here, breath in, breath out. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Feet walk forward to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Next breath in guides you all the way to standing. Reaching the arms to the sky. Exhale, palms come to heart center. Find that moment of grounding. Whew. So on Saturday, Amy did these great chair to like a full extended lift onto the tippy toes that I really liked. So you can take a peek into your monitor if you're not totally sure what these will look like. We'll inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, you sink into your chair pose. But on your next breath in, you lift and come all the way up onto the tippy toes. And then exhale, chair. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Beautiful. Let's take 10 of these. Ready? So 10, 9, really activating through the glutes as you lift to find that balance. 8, and stability to come all the way up onto your tippy toes. I think we're at like 6 and 5, 4. I feel like a ballerina here. 3, almost there. 2, and last one. Hold that chair for an inhale and exhale. Shifting weight into right leg. Extend that right leg and pull the left knee in towards the chest. Wind relieving pose. Squeezing that right glute super tightly so that you have a really strong foundation through that leg. You can circle that left ankle a little bit if that calls to you. As you breathe in and breathe out. Inhale and exhale. I'd like to transition to kind of half lotus. So you'll draw that left ankle over the right thigh and then bend that right knee. So you come into a gentle chair and create a little shelf for that left ankle. You might need to hold it with your hands or with a towel, or maybe bring your palms to heart center. Breath in, breath out. You can fold forward here if that calls to you, hinging from your hips to drop your chest over your thigh. You can bring your hands onto a couple blocks, or maybe bring your fingertips all the way to the ground. But toe stand is in your practice, maybe dropping your hips down to your heels, or if there's an arm balance that calls to you here, just take a few minutes and play around. Taking 2 more breaths wherever you are. Inhale. Exhale. Breath in and breath out. Now slowly, slowly unwinding. Lifting your chest back up, pulling that knee back towards the chest one more time for that wind relieving pose, and then dropping left foot down, giving your hips a little shake, giving your legs a little shake, maybe grabbing some water, a towel, whatever you need right now. Just gonna let it drip. All right, so we will begin from a chair pose, but we won't do the whole flowy chair lift thing. So let's just position the feet. Inhale, both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, just find your chair pose and allow your weight to shift into the left leg so that right knee lifts as left leg extends, finding that wind relieving pose to begin. Maybe circling out that right ankle. And that left foot really roots down into your mat, and you're squeezing the left glute super tightly. So if you took your fist, kind of hit yourself, it would feel very, very tight. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale, and exhale. And now slowly transitioning to that half lotus. So the right ankle crosses over left thigh, left knee bends. So you slowly lower the hips like a chair pose and get this little shelf made by your thigh for that ankle. Just hold this half lotus for a couple breaths, just feeling that gorgeous opening through that right hip. Breath in and out. One more inhale. And as you exhale, maybe you fold forward. And your hands can place onto blocks. And there's two heights to the block, so that's a really, really great point to start at, because you can kind of play around and then maybe drop your fingertips to the floor, making sure to keep a micro bend through that standing leg. Maybe you drop your hips to your heels. Maybe you find an arm balance. Whatever's calling to you here, whatever you'd like to play around with. Maybe with safety, try something you've never tried before. Take a chance. One more breath in and out. And then slowly transitioning out of the fold, pulling that right knee back to its wind relieving position for an inhale and an exhale. And then releasing that right foot, maybe giving your hips a little circle around in each direction. Maybe giving your neck another little circle. Arms. I love this front crawl kind of sensation. But you gotta do backwards as well. Just getting a little shakeout happening here before we continue into a little more balance. So now that we've already got a little opening through our hips, I'd like to take us into an eagle pose. So you can stand with your feet together or hips width distance apart, but root the feet down into the earth. Inhale, both arms up to the sky, and identify your right arm. Let that arm swing underneath the left, and you can interlace your hands or place each hand on the opposite shoulder. Bending both knees so your hips sink down. Right toe step out to the right. Right thigh wraps up and over the left. Aiming to keep a deep bend through the standing leg so that your hips sit nice and low, but your chest is lifted proud. You do not need to get that right foot behind the left leg. You're just aiming to squeeze your legs super tightly together so that you're eliminating the space between your legs, as if they're two ribbons you're braiding into one. Breath in, keep those hips low. Breath out. Now we hinge from the hips to humble or nest that eagle, lowering the chest to the thighs, and then maybe you unravel that right leg and kick it back behind you for a flying eagle, an airplane with your eagle arms. In this flying eagle, aiming to keep the toes pointing down towards the earth. One more breath in and out. Let's begin to unwind, maybe rewrapping that right leg, lifting the chest, And then unraveling legs and arms, extending them up to the sky. Let's give the legs a little shake. Give your arms a little shake. Breath in and out. Resetting the feet. Taking a breath in to lift the arms up to the sky. Left arm swings underneath the right. Maybe interlacing hands, maybe wrapping them over the opposite shoulder. Both knees bend, letting the hips sink down. Left toe step out, left thigh wraps up and over the right. Taking a moment to settle in here. Hips are square towards the front short edge of your mat. Chest and hips are square with each other. You're keeping the hips nice and low, squeezing those legs together. Breath in, breath out. Hinging from the hips, we drop the chest to nest our eagle, maybe unraveling that left leg, kicking it back behind you, keeping that left foot flexed so that the toes are pointing down towards the mat. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Rewrapping that left leg around the right, lifting the chest off the thighs, unraveling the legs, unraveling the arms, reaching up to the sky, maybe interlacing the hands, just giving yourself a nice long stretch. And when you're ready, just taking a gentle forward fold, maybe taking a ragdoll here. If it calls to you, you can walk your feet out a bit wider, take a wide-legged forward fold. Just give yourself a couple minutes to surrender into a forward fold variation, letting your upper body come over the lower body. Taking a breath in and a breath out. If it calls to you, maybe finding a deep squat variation. If sinking your hips all the way down isn't available, you can just kind of bend your knees, let your hips sink as low as feels comfortable, and then kind of press the elbows to the insides of the knees, and you get a gorgeous stretch through the insides of your thighs. Maybe taking a little stretch, a little twist here to stretch the spine. If that calls to you, just taking a couple more breaths in and out. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. When you're ready, slowly coming back to a traditional forward fold with the feet about hips width distance apart if you're in a wide-legged, and then left foot steps back and right foot steps back, high plank. Drop the knees, bend your elbows, just lower yourself all the way down. Maybe laying one cheek on your mat. Extending the arms alongside your body, maybe bending the knees to windshield wiper your legs from left to right. We'll take a couple back bends here. So when you're ready, you'll extend the legs long, bring your chin and nose back to your mat. Keep the arms extended long so that your hands are near your hips, but flip the palms so that they're touching your mat or touching the floor. We'll begin with a locust pose, so squeeze the glutes firmly to protect your lower back. On an inhale, you'll lift your chest and your arms and your legs as if you're flying through the sky. I'd encourage you to keep your gaze towards your mat so that you have a nice long neutral neck. And this allows you to press the crown of your head forward to maintain that length through your body. Holding this, keep breathing in and out for 5, 4, 3. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. 2 and 1, release. Bending the knees, windshield wipering those legs from left to right and left to right. Breath in and breath out. Letting the legs find stillness. Bringing chin and nose back to the mat, flipping the palms so that they're connected to the floor. Squeeze the glutes on your next inhale. Lift your chest, arms, legs, so that only your belly and your hips are connected to your mat. Pulling the shoulder blades together, squeezing those glutes, getting a little more lift through the legs. We hold this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing it down, bending the knees, windshield wiper the legs, left and right, left and right. Breath in and breath out. Letting your legs find stillness, bringing chin and nose back to your mat. Plant the palms alongside your chest. Slowly press up into a tabletop, and then tuck the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Walk it out here for a breath in and a breath out. Inhale the right leg up to the sky, keeping your shoulders nice and square to that front short edge of your mat. Press that right leg up to the sky. Maybe bend that knee and kind of open up the hip a little bit, but keeping your shoulders nice and stable. On your next breath in, extend that leg long, squaring the hips. As you exhale, pull the right knee in towards your nose and lower that right leg so that the right thigh is parallel to that long edge of your mat. We're coming into our prone pigeon here, so you can place a block underneath that right hip for support. Maybe surrender your upper body over that front leg. You can place your forearms into the mat or lower your forehead all the way down. Whatever feels good for you. That left leg is extended long down your mat. Let yourself just kind of sink and surrender into this pose, letting your breath pattern begin to even back out, feeling the beautiful stretch in that right hip. You're also getting a bit of a stretch through the left hip flexor as you extend that left leg super long down your mat. Inhale and exhale. Breath in. Breath out. One more deep inhale. And then a slow exhale. Give yourself time to gently release. As you tuck the left toes under and pull yourself up and back, find a three-legged dog first so that right hip can get some nice circles through it in each direction. Keeping those shoulders nice and stable and square. Maybe you open that right hip back up again. And then when you're ready, right foot floats back down to the earth. On a breath in, left leg extends up, making sure you're squaring those hips to the front edge, maybe opening that hip up by bending the knee. On an inhale, we stretch and extend the leg. On an exhale, left knee pulls in towards the nose, left leg lowers down onto the mat so that the left thigh is parallel to that long edge of your mat. Placing a block underneath that left thigh for support so that both hips are in the same plane. Maybe you lower your upper body over that front leg, just kind of settling into the stretch. It's totally normal if this side of your body is calling for something slightly different. So as opposed to just moving automatically from one side of a posture into the other, make sure that even as you transition sides, you're moving with intentionality to listen to your body, to move slowly and mindfully, noting the sensations in the muscles that you're working on and what they're asking for. Breath in and out. In and out. Inhale and exhale. plant the palms, lift your chest, tuck those right toes under, and slowly pull the hips up and back, circling out that left hip several times, getting some nice movement through there after such a deep stretch. Maybe lifting that left hip up and over, being mindful of those shoulders, making sure the stretch comes from the hip and not the shoulders. And when you're ready, left foot floats back down to the earth and knees drop. You can take your time to slowly turn over onto your back. We'll take an inversion before we settle in for our final shavasana. We'll take a waterfall here, so grabbing a block to have near you. On your back, you'll bend your legs so that you plant the soles of your feet into your mat, settling your upper body down. You lift your hips so that you can place a block underneath your lower back, supporting your lower back on that block, and then you can extend both legs up to the sky. You can even extend the arms up to the sky as well. And I just took a block to place underneath my head because I've got a hair clip in that doesn't feel so comfortable when it rests against the floor. So this block is just providing me a little cushion right now, so feel free to do that as well if that feels good for you. Maybe extend your arms and just give your wrists and your ankles a little rotation, a little wiggle and wobble, a little shake. Taking a deep breath in and a slow breath out. Just allowing yourself to kind of hang here. Getting out any little crackling sounds in your joints, letting the blood just kind of drain back to the heart space. Allowing your heart rate to continue evening back out. Breath in and breath out. When you're ready, you can let your limbs, arms and legs slowly travel back to the earth. You can take any props out from underneath you and just extend the legs long, extend the arms long. Or maybe finding a different position that feels a little bit better for you, a different position that will allow you to sustain the stillness that you're aiming for in your final shavasana. If there are any last postures that are calling to you before you fully settle into your stillness, that's fine. Take your time. Listen to your body and what it's asking for, what it's calling for, what it needs. This practice is more fully your own than ever before, since we're practicing from home. So give yourself the time to experiment, give yourself the time to take as much time as you need. There's no rush or race. Breath in and breath out. And as you're settling into your mat, as you're tuning into your breath, allow yourself to notice what your physical self is feeling like right now after your practice, noticing without judgment, just bringing awareness to any places that might still be feeling tight or constricted, any places you're still holding on to that tension. And as you notice, just see if you can continue using that breath to allow the softening through your body to spread into even those places that are still holding tight. Use that breath, bring that life force energy in to calm and release that tension. Another inhale and an exhale. Slowly taking your time to move into a seated position. There's no rush to get there. Just giving yourself a little freedom of movement, a little freedom of time to wake yourself back up and move into that seated position. And that could look like legs extended forward, legs crossed, knees bent, whatever feels comfortable for you. Take a breath in and out. Slowly bringing the palms to heart center, placing them over the heart space. We'll take a cleansing breath before closing our practice with that sacred sound of Om. An inhale and an exhale. A breath in for Om. Thank you so much for practicing with me today or later on whenever you found this. I hope that you found something to carry with you off your mat. The spirit in me honors the spirit in you. Namaste. I hope you guys all have a beautiful, magical Monday. Just remember that these live streams are available 24/7 whenever you want them. You can do these in the middle of the night if you'd like to. They're all archived on Instagram and Facebook, and they also get uploaded to YouTube. So you can find us in so many different ways. We so appreciate you sharing these practices with your community as well, and we hope that you all have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.